Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, desolate peasants, vassals, meat sacks, minions. I'm a useful idiot. Welcome, and let's go back to the good old USA and talk about Ted Cruz because he's starting to pick his advisors, or at least be some of his advisors are being pointed out now, and it's a very important part of this whole election process. I remember one of the things that happened when Barack Obama was running for office. I started looking at his appointments and already could tell that he was just going to be more of the same and that it would be a continuation of the Bush administration. One of the big tip-offs, of course, was one of his big advisors was Brzezinski, the architect for the new American century and a lot of our foreign policy. So now we have the same thing happening again. To me, this is a huge red light when Ted Cruz picks for one of his main advisors, Elliot Abrams. And Elliot Abrams, what a storied figure in the Neocon pantheon. Let's take a little look at this guy, Elliot Abrams, that Ted Cruz has decided to pick for one of his foreign policy advisors because, as it turns out, Ted Cruz, who models himself as some sort of Tea Party representative and is going to be this breath of fresh air, is just going to be George Bush Jr. all over again. So Elliot Abrams, he was an advisor for the Reagan administration back in the 80s and spent a lot of his time covering up U.S.-backed atrocities in El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. And of course, Elliot Abrams was up to his eyeballs in the Iran-Contra scandal, providing guns to Iran and then funneling the money to death squads in South America. And he pled guilty to misdemeanors of withholding evidence from Congress, but then he was pardoned by Bush Sr. What a shocker. And then his tendencies tended to continue in 1997. He was censured by Congress for giving false testimony. So he's a born liar on top of everything else, which makes him perfect for American politics. Then in 2001, he became an advisor of all places, the Middle East, for President Bush, President George W. Bush. And so we can thank Elliot Abrams for being one of the architects of Bush's disastrous Middle East policies. And in fact, he is Elliot Abrams is also a pal of Donald Kagan, one of the arch neocons and warmongers, Zionists that have been advising our government and foreign policy. So Elliot Abrams, on top of everything else, is a neocon. He's a warmonger and he's a Zionist. And he's also one of the signatories to the Project for a New American Century in 1997, along with the likes of Rumsfeld, Cheney, and Wolfowitz, all also warmongers, neocons, and Zionists. And he's also been a member of the American Jewish Committee, a member of the Council of Foreign Relations and the Heritage Foundation. So quite a pedigree for Mr. Elliot Abrams. And so now he's going to be an advisor to Ted Cruz. And so it's not like I think Ted Cruz has any chance of being elected, but it's certainly nice to see his true colors is just more of the same old shit. Another warmonger, another person who loves Israel more than America, and another person who believes in projecting American power all over the globe aggressively. So way to go, Ted Cruz. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.